Hello, my name's Ben,
And my name's Josh.
and welcome back to FPL Graduates, and welcome back to another video where finally international breaks are over. We've just got pure FPL goodness now from now until the end of the season. So let's get into our teams for game week 30.
Okay, so looking into my team this week, I have decided not to wildcard in Game Week 30, although a lot of managers have decided to hit the button this week. The main reason is because I took that extra hit last week in preparation for Game Week 30, so I don't want to sort of go against my plans for the sake of a few transfers. So as we'll get into my team, Emi Martinez is in goal. Wolves at home this week. Obviously, Wolves are missing a few players. They have a couple back though. Obviously, Mateus Cunha could feature this weekend, so not a guaranteed clean sheet. Hoping for some save points at the very least from Martinez there. In defence, we've got Zabarnyi, Doughty, and Porro. Obviously, Zabarnyi's a decent fixture. Everton are really struggling in front of goal this season, and Bournemouth defensively aren't too bad. They're definitely not the best though. Doughty obviously is only really in there out of just the sheer lack of defenders that I've got. Obviously, Reguilon got suspended last week. Charlie Taylor's got Chelsea, so it's just the lesser of evils. Obviously, got decent attacking threat, Doughty, so this will definitely be his last week in my team, though. And obviously, Pedro Porro, really like him this week. Luton concede their most amount of chances down their left-hand side, obviously the right-hand side where Porro plays. So I feel like there could be a decent haul for him this week. What's your thoughts on that defence and keeper, Ben?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Like 3 out of the 4, I'd say are decent for getting points. I think the ceilings are relatively low for all of them at the moment this week. I'd say just because I think maybe Porro is probably the best chance of getting a haul in this week, especially sort of playing the Luton team that do concede a lot of chances, do concede a lot of goals. But yeah, overall pretty decent back four, all things considered. Could of course be stronger if you sort of hadn't taken those hits last week to try and capitalise on the sort of guys that are free hitting. So yeah, overall fairly strong start to your team. Yeah, not too bad at all.
Awesome. And then going into the midfield, here's where my transfer is going to be made this week. Got the one free transfer. I plan on moving out Bukayo Saka as it stands to Mohamed Salah. Just the one free transfer, which is quite a luxury move to be fair this week. A lot of managers having to take hits, etc., to get him in, even wildcarding. So really happy with that move. I probably will have the armband on Salah as well this week. It's between him and Son, and for me, I just fancy Salah. I think he's like more nailed to play in a position that I know he's going to haul. Whereas if Richarlison comes in, Son out on the left, he could haul, don't get me wrong, but it's just nowhere near as efficient and effective he is going down the middle. Obviously, Cole Palmer could be another captaincy option this week. Burnley at home is a fantastic fixture. Palmer's home record compared to his away record is a lot better as well. He's on penalties. I wouldn't shy away from it. I think a lot of people will, though, due to his price tag, but a really, really nice option this week. Bowen in there, Newcastle away. Obviously, Newcastle defence really injury hit at the moment. I think that's a solid fixture at the moment. Obviously, Lascelles probably going to play. They've got potentially Trippier coming back, a bit hit and miss there as well, so should be interesting for him. And then we've got the Spurs double up in the attack as well with Maddison and Son, as I mentioned. I wouldn't be shocked to see Son over 100% effective ownership at about top 10k. I'm hoping he isn't, so I can get some minor gains out of him. I think Maddison will be a nice differential though this week. Him and Porro could be nice if they do obviously get the points, as a lot of managers had them last week free hitting, whereas I've carried them over into this nice fixture as well for Luton. What's your thoughts on the midfield, Ben?
Yeah, very strong Spurs triple up there. Like you said, there's always that chance of Richarlison. I don't think this week Richarlison's going to come straight back in. He missed both games for Brazil in the international break. Obviously, he's come out with sort of some mental health issues as well. So hopefully all is okay with him. But I don't see him necessarily starting this week. I see him coming off the bench. I see potentially sort of minutes reduced, maybe from Maddison and Son compared to Salah. But yeah, the midfield is really nice, and the differential is having Salah and Son. That's going to be a big differential. A lot will have one or the other. Not many at all will have both. I mean, for myself personally, I can't get Salah in one free transfer, which I've also got. So you're definitely in a power position there, should you choose, of course, to transfer out Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, and then moving on to the forward line, one definitely differential forward. The other one, probably the last week that I'm going to own him, despite him being the top scorer in FPL player this season. Watkins with Wolves at home. Don't hate the fixture. Wolves away from home are the 7th best defence in the league compared to when they're at home. They're the 16th best, I guess you could say. So yeah, it's really, really weird sort of defensive stats from them. But Watkins, he can haul against anyone. We've seen it so far this season. He's picking up goals and assists left, right, and centre, and I'm really happy to own him when a lot of wildcarders will probably not have him this week, obviously due to Darwin Nunez, Nicholas Jackson, the likes of those guys. Ivan Toney, United at home. United don't like going to the G-Tech at all, so it wouldn't shock me to see Toney score here. Obviously on penalties as well. I think he's a decent option this week, and if you have any sort of Brentford players, even if Reguilon was not suspended this week, I'd probably potentially start him over Alfie Doughty, just because I think it's a decent fixture for Brentford. What's your thoughts on the forward line, Ben?
Yeah, I mean it's not a bad forward line. It's definitely differential in itself because obviously there is a fairly big omission there from your team of Erling Haaland, of course. So completely avoiding that City Arsenal game, which it could go either way, and it could be one where there's loads of FPL points or absolutely none at all. Yeah, I don't mind the Tony pick and the Watkins pick. Again, I'm thinking similar lines to you. He could be the last week that I own Watkins. It's a little bit of a tough run in for Aston Villa, especially compiled with the European commitments as well. It's definitely one to keep an eye on. There's going to be a lot of midweeks where you're sort of looking and hoping that Watkins sort of doesn't play too many minutes over the course of the season and gets injured. So, yeah, it could be a bit of a popular move come next week for that one.
Yeah, defo. And then onto the bench, Areola. Obviously, he's got Newcastle away, not necessarily the best fixture. Newcastle at home are pretty good going forwards. Morris, Tottenham away. Again, probably won't, hopefully, not to see him come onto the team. And then Taylor as well, as I mentioned earlier, who, again, don't want to see him in my starting 11. So that rounds off the team. Wildcarding next week. Let's go into Ben's.
So this is how I'm lining up for this game week. In goal, we're starting off. It's a 50-50 pick, really. I'm not really decided on which keeper that I'm going to go with. We've got Areola in goal against Newcastle away. It's between him or Dubravka. I'm going to have a keeper from this game. I think Areola's probably got the higher point ceiling potential through his save points, but I think Dubravka has possibly a higher chance of keeping a clean sheet considering that they're at home. In the back three, again, I'm a little bit undecided on that third pick. The two that are nailed in my starting 11 at the moment are Ait Nouri and Udogi. I think Ait Nouri's attacking threat, potential of sort of attacking returns is really, really decent at the moment. Playing up left wing, striker, you name it, he's playing there at the moment. And Udogi, of course, playing a prime fixture against Luton at home. Gabriel always has that goal threat against Manchester City from set pieces. The decision is really between him and Ezri Konsa on which one I'm going to pick. Obviously, I'm picking Ait Nouri for his attacking threat. So picking Konsa for his defensive potential might sort of nullify and cancel out each other. So it's one to think about. Obviously, Gabriel and defence. If I've got a couple of Manchester City attackers as well, that's another one to consider. Josh, what are your thoughts on the defence and the keeper? A little bit of a headache there for the selection.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like you say, it's a 50-50 in goal. For me, I'd probably just edge it Newcastle. And I know the defence hasn't been great. But even then, when I'm saying that, I'm still thinking Areola is going to get loads of save points. So I really don't know where to go in that one. Obviously, they're facing each other this week. Gabriel is a tough one. I think if I was you, just because obviously if you're trying to push on with your rank, you just sort of got to gamble on one of the sides to do well. And obviously, if you've got two Manchester City attackers, you just got to hope that Arsenal don't do well and Gabriel doesn't do well, because obviously that Arsenal defence is super high owned. So yeah, for me, I'd probably maybe even go Konsa. Obviously, Kirkes would be ideal if you knew he was going to start, because I think that Everton at home fixture is like prime, because they don't score goals at all, but we just can't guarantee a start there. So it is a massive dilemma at the back.
Yeah, it's a big dilemma and one that I'm probably going to be going to the deadline with. Moving on to the midfield, and again, we've got another bit of a dilemma here as well with the benching headache. That's the trouble with having 8 really decent attackers. At the moment, we've got Bukayo Saka, Heung-min Son, Palmer and Foden. The one I'm debating on is Bukayo Saka. Josh is potentially selling him. I'm potentially benching him this week. Gordon has that fixture at home to West Ham, which, if I don't play Areola, I'd probably look to maybe start Gordon to really go all in on that Newcastle team there. So it's a difficult decision. Son is probably going to be on the captaincy for me. I just think potentially and probably up top for a minimum of 60 minutes is really a big swing for me to go with Son. Obviously, Spurs haven't looked too great away from home. At home, they've been a little bit better. Cole Palmer is in consideration as well for the captaincy, like Josh is as well. Again, I think Son's ownership is going to be that little bit high that I'm going to go, you know what, there's the potential here. Son, Luton at home, it is the prime fixture for a team that is really a little bit more consistent attacking than Chelsea. And then Foden in there as well. He could end up being a little bit of a differential with people moving on the likes of Saka and Foden for Salah. That's the midfield at the moment. I'm really, really leaning towards potentially playing Gordon over Saka. Are you sort of thinking in the same boat with this lineup?
Yeah, I think you need to start Gordon just because how good he is at home. I think he's got a ridiculous record in terms of I think 60 or 70% of his returns are at home. So for me, he has to start, especially with how poor that West Ham defence has been. It's just like yeah, like you say, who's your bench? I think even Bukayo Saka away from at City is not a terrible pick at all. You know, he's potentially on penalties. He's their main man, and usually when Arsenal score, he usually is a part of it. So yeah, it's a tough decision. But I think for me, if you're looking at it right now, I'd definitely start Gordon ahead of him.
Okay, yeah, and then moving on up front, none of these three I really want to bench either. Erling Haaland at home to Arsenal. Like you said, like in the last game, the reverse fixture didn't do too much, but it's Erling Haaland. He could go off at any given moment. Ollie Watkins as well. Wolves at home is a decent fixture. Again, like it's the potential that I'm going to be selling him next week, so it could be the last dance for him. And then Solanke with a prime fixture at home to Everton. I don't think I'll be benching him for that. So that's the starting lineup there, Josh. The subs at the moment, as you can see, are Gordon, Konza, and Dubravka, and then the last one is Kirkes. So that's the full team. It's an interesting one. It's a bit of a benching dilemma, but hopefully we'll get those picks right come the deadline.
Okay, so that wraps up our Game Week 30 team selections. Let us know if you think we've made the wrong decisions in selling Bukayo Saka and benching in this game week, and what's your plans with Arsenal's talisman. If you haven't already as well, do hit that subscribe button. There's like 70% of you who aren't subscribed to us. You watch us regularly. What are you doing? Hit that subscribe button.
And as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I've been Ben,
I've been Josh.
and we'll see you guys
Later. Have a good game week, everyone.
So you